Payton Manning is making cold calls to indie liquor stores to put his bourbon on shelves. If you can go a little lower to read this, Payton Manning is not too enshrined in a Hall of Fame or too caught up in the overwhelmingly rave reviews of the Monday Night Football megacast, which they're crushing.
Is incredible, yeah.
To admit what his most critical job has been of late, he's been a hustler. His words, not ours. In a world of liquor, hustling is key, Manning said. Or, as he actually said, you kind of have to hustle on it, or it gets lost in the shuffle. What Manning has been hustling in is a bourbon brand called Sweet and Cove Tennessee Bourbon. For the liquor connoisseur, say the word, by
Connoisseur.
the way. Connoisseur. Out there, 84% corn, 8% rye, 8% malted barley. Someone comes to Indiana, someone comes to shelves. I'm in the cold calling business, Manning told IndyStar. Yes, Manning has been picking up the phones and making the calls. The call that must certainly seem like a prank to the person on the other end. You can imagine the pitch. Can you imagine you get a call from this guy? I'm Payton Manning. What do I need to do to get my bourbon into your liquor store?
What's his closing percentage? What do you think?
Are you kidding me? Knowing this guy, he probably has a ratio. He probably got data for everything.
yeah.
I'm shooting,
What's
68%.
higher? Is his completion percentage for his career or his closing percentage? What do you think? He was a
Closing.
7.
I want to say closing. How do you say no to it?
If you believe it's him, right? Because I would, if it was me, I'd be like, yeah, right, man.
You know what I would
Yeah.
FaceTime. I'd say, here, let me just FaceTime you.
If then it's
you don't believe me, let me FaceTime
If he FaceTimed you, and then
It's
you're like, deal,
100%.
send it.
It's 100%.
Yeah.
But are you surprised though? See, these are the small little, like I bet you got stories. Like even you talked about it earlier, what you were doing when you're sending your stuff, when you're writing the stories. Behind every great entrepreneur or great hustler, you have weird stories like this that doesn't make sense. I'll give you a crazy story, okay? I haven't told this story for like 7 years. So it's 2000, let me see what year it is. It's 2007. I'm about to qualify for a trip to go to Dubrovnik, to go to Venice, to go to Macedonia, to go to Italy, to go to all those places, okay? My assistant at the time, I asked him, did you renew my life insurance license? Okay? He says, I renewed all your license. I said, are you positive? He says, I renewed all your licenses when I have ever missed it. And I said, you know what? This guy's a pretty credible guy. He's been with me for many years. Fine. You renewed it? I renewed it. Fantastic. So I go. 1 day goes by. 2 days goes by. The last week, all the business that goes in, I'm going to Europe. All of a sudden, I get a call from the company saying, yeah, none of the stuff you're submitting right now is going to count for you. Why? Because your license has been suspended for 2 weeks. I said, what? He says, because you forgot to renew your license. So what do? I scream his name. Put him on speaker. Ma'am, can you please tell him what you just told me right now? Yeah, your license hasn't been renewed because it wasn't done. So his face turns red. He's panicking. He's freaking out. I said, what the hell is going on here with my license being renewed? I want to go to Dubrovnik. I want to go to all these places. There's no way this is going to happen. I'm telling you, I renewed it. Show it to me. Hour later, he says, I effed up. I didn't renew it. I've lost my mind at this point, okay? Oh, I'm losing my mind. So it's okay. Let me see what I can do. I called Department of Insurance California. And by the way, Department of Insurance California, most difficult people to work with. So I call and I say, yes, my name is Patrick B. David. How are you? May I speak with the manager, please? This is her. Great. Hey, my license, I just got word that expired. What do I need to do to renew my license? They said, sir, it's going to take about 4 to 6 weeks to renew it. I said, no, you don't understand. 4 to 6 weeks is $50,000 of commission, $60,000. I need this thing to be renewed. Sir, everybody calls us for this. This happens all the time. It's okay. Just be patient with us. 4 to 6 weeks, we'll renew it. Her name was Gail. I said, Gail, I'm on the phone with like 5, 6, 7 people. I said, Gail, let me just put it to you this way. If you don't renew my license, I swear to God, I'm going to be there tomorrow morning. I will dance outside your office. I will bring flowers. I will bring 200 people singing your name nonstop until you renew my license. I'm going to show up tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. Says, Patrick, even if you show, we cannot renew it. I said, I'm going to make the biggest scene until you renew my license. Patrick, don't waste your money. I said, I'm coming. Don't come. Please don't come. I said, Gail, I'm coming to California. What happens? I tell my guy, book the flight. I go to Sacramento. I go find the Department of Insurance. I flew to Sacramento. Now watch what happens. There is no door. Like there is not a door. It's one of those doors. You know the doors behind like an industrial building that's like there is not a window to see who's working inside? But I'm there at 5 a.m. I tell my hotel guy, bring me 2 buckets of coffee, okay, for me to, from Starbucks. Bring me dozens of donuts. I'm going to stand out there, I'm giving everybody a flyer. Can you please give this to Gail? I'm Patrick. Coffee to everybody. Everybody's coming in. Hi, how are you? I'm Patrick Bediva. I need to renew my license. Could you please tell Gail? Here's my flyer. I'm giving it to everybody, one by one by one. They're going in. They're going in. They're going in. And then an hour later, she doesn't show up. 2 hours later, she doesn't show up. One employee comes out. Patrick, we're not going to renew your license for 4 to 6 weeks. Do you realize if we do this, everybody else is going to do what you're doing? We cannot do this. I said, you got to renew my license. I said, if you don't, I have mariachi folks showing up right now. I have dancers showing up right now. She says, you can't do this kind of stuff. This is too much. I said, I'm going to do all this stuff. Anyways, long story short, Gail comes out, okay? Gail comes and says, Patrick, what do I need to do to get rid of you? Everybody's talking about you right now. I said, Gail, just renew my license. Says, if I renew your license, will you leave town? I said, I'm not leaving until on your website it says Patrick Bet-David's license renewed to the date. Okay. She says, let me see what I can do. She goes inside. Amor calls me, my chief compliance officer. She says, Patrick, your license has been, you've been terminated. They're calling me from, what are we going to do? You can't go to Europe. I said, dude, let me just tell you, I'm in California right now in Sacramento. Let me see what I can do. Gail comes out. She says, here, your license is renewed. I said, Gail, give me the biggest hug. Gave her a hug, got her 2 dozen roses. She says, get the hell out of here. And said, don't ever tell anybody. So I'm not telling anybody. I'm just telling 2 people right now, like a handful of us right now. Anyways.
Tomorrow morning in Sacramento, there's a line of mariachis.
Amor calls me saying, your license was freaking renewed. They made a mistake. I said, nobody made the mistake. I'm in Sacramento. Anyways. So those are the stories that many times people don't. I went to Europe.
Cost you $10,000 to get your license renewed.
My favorite trip of all time up until that point was Dubrovnik. Till today, my favorite place in the world. If I didn't renew my license, I'm not going to Dubrovnik.
Sweet.
That's the story sometimes behind closed doors you don't hear about. So Manning, massive shout out to a hustler like Manning.
It's the competitive spirit, and it's what you talked about with you before. You had that addictive personality, but you channeled it into the right way now. A buddy of mine I talked to you about, Prince Lorenzo Borghese. This guy was on The Bachelor. He's been on Bachelor in Paradise. He's been on
freaking name, bro.
Yeah.
Okay. First of all, name like that. You go up to a girl. What's your name? Mary. What's your name? Prince, what's that?
Lorenzo Borghese.
Lorenzo Borghese. Yeah. Like it's a done deal.
He was in, what was that, Celebrity Big Brother, he got into a fight with the Situation. He's a good friend of my buddy Rocco. Rocco was on Lucky Bastards on Esquire with him. They know each other. Anyway, the point is, this guy's got notoriety, fame, money. He sells South Beach Brewery. And now he's driving around the truck himself, delivering the stuff himself, going and making the sales calls himself because he's like, hey, I put my thing into this. I'm not going to call people. I'm not going to tell people. He doesn't want to be like Cabo Wabo. This is so-and-so's. Yeah. Shake my hand. This is mine. Like, it's actually mine. I'm doing it. And it's really, really important to him. He likes that. He likes the hunt. He likes being out there in it.
That's what makes the story sexy. That's what makes the story exciting. You have to have that story of a hustle whenever you're doing something big.
I just want to know where he gets the time to do it. How much time? Payton Manning.
Dude, at that point, the bigger you get, the more support you got. You have no idea. You have so much support. Biggest thing people misunderstand about business is there's a 10-year period of you not having a life. There's 10 years, and that's the 10 years people don't want to give up. But you have no life. When I tell you no life, I mean you have no life. It's an 80-hour week of no life. Then after that 10-year, the amount of support and help you have, your life is given back to you, and you gain back years for that 10 years of sacrifice you made. That's the exchange people don't want to make.
That's exactly what happened to me. I mean, I really don't do anything I don't want to do anymore.
But you earned it, though, Aaron.
Yeah, I earned it. Right, yeah. So literally, if there's something in my life that I really don't want to do, then I have somebody, a support person, that's able to do it for me, like Eduardo over there. So...
for instance, if you don't want to support Arnold Classic, you just don't support it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. But giving that the work gives you the ability to have freedoms. That's what I think of when people talk about like making it, and being financially free. To me, it's just being able to do or not do the things you want to do.
So if you enjoyed this little short segment from the podcast that we did, here's another short segment to watch. Or if you want to see the entire podcast, click over here. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.